It's the Weekly Wrap with your host, broadcasting legend Bruce Wolf, and his trusty sidekick, comedian Tim Slagle. And now, without further ado, Bruce Wolf.
Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the Weekly Wrap. Now it's time for my...
That was a very weak wrap, Bruce.
It was really, I'm ailing right now, but I'm not going to use it as an excuse. I'm playing hurt. Now it's time for my favorite part of the show, wherein we guess what is in Tim's background. And I'm going to say, just in, it's a late entry. It's good old George Washington smiling with his slave's teeth, as you informed us a few weeks ago. That's what he had, not wooden ones. But at least he has teeth, because the rest of us won't have any more once RFK Jr. gets rid of all the fluoride. Oh my God! Oh my God! I think somebody's at Hold My Beer here with Matt Gaetz and then RFK Jr. Health and Human Services.
No, actually, I'm here at Harpo Productions, where they're about to make another deposit.
Oh, exactly. I mean, in the picture, for those of you who don't have the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball, is Oprah's vault, and unlike Al Capone's, it is filled. And
It's
there's a lot of gold.
Little bit more filled this week than it was the week before.
Yeah, I love that she charged $1 million.
I think that's beautiful. Because there was a lot of concern that she might run for president. Do you remember that talk? Is that if she ran for president, there's no way she's going to run for president. She made as much in one appearance as 4 years in the White House.
Well, I mean, you just
who would give that up?
You just wonder why a billionaire who wants to save the world from Hitler winds up. No, I just lost you.
I'm still here.
Okay, I just lost the whole picture. Do you see me?
Yeah, I see you.
Okay,
we can cut that out in post.
All right. You just wonder why a billionaire who was going to save the world from Adolf Hitler had to charge money for this. I mean, I'm trying to go
Fighting
back.
Hitler ain't cheap. That's what we.
I'll tell you. I'm trying to go back who was
had to take some war bonds for that.
I mean, is that why Lucky Lindy eventually signed on to the war effort? We actually paid him, finished off the payments on the Spirit of St. Louis or something. I just don't. It's just hard to imagine her charging that money. And I also had this idea that just to keep with the celebrity thing, the Chicago Bears don't have a very good offensive line right now. Why not fork over the $3 million that Lizzo was getting and have her play like left tackle for the Bears? I just, now that I see that celebrities are truly the answer to Hitler, to opposing
Lizzo got paid for an endorsement.
I'm pretty sure she was among the Beyonce. They all got paid.
Taylor Swift get paid?
I don't know that Taylor Swift got paid anything. I don't think she did.
Huh. But how about that? She's the only honest one in the bunch.
Yeah,
I wonder if the check cleared for Cardi B, because that was the lamest endorsement of them all. Did you see that one?
No, I missed that one.
Oh man, the teleprompter went out.
Oh, okay.
And unlike Kamala, who just kept repeating the same phrase over and over again till it came back on, she just stopped.
Oh, okay.
She just stopped and just said, "Be patient, y'all. Be patient. Y'all be patient. You got to be patient."
All right.
And then eventually, one of Kamala's aides ran up on stage and handed her a phone.
Oh, nice.
And she read her endorsement straight off the phone, and it sounded just like you can imagine.
Oh,
it was, I have been a supporter of Kamala Harris since the beginning. I imagine after it was like, you're not getting, no, we're not paying you. No, we are stopping payment on that check.
Well, it all worked wonders. Meantime, did you see, I think, Dan McLaughlin of National Review had a tweet which he showed the RCP average in the map before the Biden-Trump debate, June 28th, and it is identical to how the election turned out, right? And so it just shows that obviously Biden would have dropped after the debate, but she managed to climb back to where Biden was before the debate, which is not exactly.
Knowing what we know about Beyonce and Cardi B and Oprah, do you think Mr. Gallup might have gotten a check?
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Mr. Rasmussen has a bigger boat.
Yeah. Let's turn to these appointments here. So, me, traditional rhino. I mean, I like the little Marco. It's amazing the skin that the tough skin these politicians have. I mean, if why not Lion Ted as well? But little Marco got Secretary of State. Matt Gaetz, they're talking about 16-dimensional chess with Matt Gaetz. Just get him out of the house. He'll never really get the job. Your view on Matt Gaetz?
I think he is an excellent appointment. There is no one better at fighting lawfare than someone who's been a victim of it.
Oh, okay.
But I think your speculation probably applies more to little Marco, because that seems to be the modus operandi lately, is that when you have an annoying person that you want to get rid of, you make them Secretary of State, so they're traveling all the time. It's what Obama did to Hillary, and I think it's what I think it was Kerry was that who sent Kerry like that. And I think that's what Trump is doing with Marco. He just kind of wants him to go away for a while.
Because
the beauty of it is that DeSantis will actually get to appoint a real Republican.
Okay. I'm not sure what a real Republican is. I thought Marco was, but who knows? I might be a Democrat before this podcast is out. But Gaetz, I mean, he's got that that statutory rape thingy, as Lionel Hutz might call it. And
that was never prosecuted.
I know, but the report will come out. It's going to be and he actually showed off the pictures to people. So, I mean, it's not like, show me the pictures. Well, he showed them. So it doesn't seem like he's really got a chance. I mean, even people like Ann Coulter are saying that, no, this is just he's going to run interference for the hard ass who's going to wind up being the attorney general. Plus, I got to tell you that, a guy like Andy McCarthy, who's, my kind of guy, National Review, vintage, typical conservative and a longtime lawyer, he praised Gaetz's legal skills. He just liked the way, in spite of himself, Andy said, he just liked the way that Gaetz would ask questions at those congressional hearings.
Oh, he was savage against Garland and Ray. I think you might be right that there's no way he'll get through the Senate confirmation hearing. I think the Senate's probably going to have to be in session for the next 12 months in order to keep him out of the AG office. But I think he would be an excellent attorney general.
Well, he practiced law for only 25 months after being admitted to the bar, but he did manage to beat a DUI rap, which I believe you can get continuing legal education credit for in Illinois. So we'll see. I mean, my guess would be that he won't get through. But RFK Jr. Well, let's go to Pete Hegseth, which, by the way, I didn't even really know who this guy was until a little while ago, and I saw him on Fox and Friends. What's with the slick back hair of these young kids? By young, I mean guys in their 40s.
I think they're trying to imitate me.
Yeah, there you go. And Hegseth, I mean, this guy is cut better than David Muir. I mean, that's how good looking that guy is. Major Pete Hegseth.
And David Muir does a lot of push-ups every Pride Week.
I know. But yeah, so I'm just thinking that Hegseth, and it's just interesting. You contrast.
I've seen a couple clips of him, and again, just excellent. It was the one where he actually said the DEI, not DUI. That's that's Gates. Right. DEI is what's ruining the military, and I think that there's some validity to that.
Yeah. Well, Andy McCarthy, another tweet up here that Chris just put up. Hexeth believes our military is a national defense force, not a sociology experiment. Andy, I kind of wish I didn't ask, so you didn't have to tell. Yeah, I know what's going on. Okay. But yeah, I mean, we've got, our leaders in dresses. I guess that's going to change now. But here's the thing: we don't really.
Yes, we're being led by Klinger.
We don't really fight wars anymore. So why not the experiments? It's just,
well as Hegseth also said, is that Rumsfeld was wrong when you say you don't fight with the army you have, is you have an army prepared to go to war.
All right. Well, that's a known unknown, or unknown unknown. Or I never quite followed Rumsfeld there, but he used to be my congressman. He started out as my congressman in the old 10th district, north of Chicago. But in any event, all right. Hey, kudos to the city of Chicago for having a ward, the 41st Ward, Roman Paczynski's old ward, that went for Donald Trump. How about that?
Yeah, it's mostly policemen and firefighters.
Yeah,
so that's,
and Chinatown went for Trump, which reminds me of the old joke about why professional hockey wasn't going well in Los Angeles when the area had 90,000 Canadians. And it was because the ones who moved from Canada hated hockey. And so it's just like the people who moved from...
Because they were Chinese? Is that well, what
the Chinese, just like with the Latino vote and the black vote,
the opening borders to bring in voters experiment is going to be 180 degrees reversed after this past election.
It did kind of backfire. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the Weekly Wrap. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the Weekly Wrap, and I thought that our Civil War roundtable discussion of the 2020 election was over since Trump won. It was kind of moot, but I understand that. And you know what? We've got our niche here, because I think we're going to crack the top 3 million podcasts in the country because nobody's talking about the 2020 election anymore, well, except us. And I'm almost ready to concede because I've had this stomach ailment the last few days. I'm ready to concede anything. Chris, during the break that we just had, said that apparently the Democratic fixers were trying to bring ballots in a truck in Milwaukee late at night, and they saw Trump's lawyers there, and they turned around. And Tim had not even heard of this. And Tim is Mr. Tim Foyle. He hears about all the conspiracy theories, and even he didn't know about it.
Well, I knew the trucks were showing up. I did not know that it was Trump lawyers that actually wanted to look in the trucks. And apparently they turned around and waited till they started counting the Senate votes.
Now, where are these trucks? I mean, who's reported this? Who's reported this?
Not David Muir, that's for sure.
Okay. But has anybody reported it?
Well, what you would call conspiracy theory media, yeah, they reported it. Project Veritas actually filmed the trucks on election night. I don't know if that was the Milwaukee trucks or it was another state, but they actually filmed white trucks showing up with California plates.
You sure they weren't bringing Good Humor ice creams?
Well, that's what they tried to say at Detroit in 2020. They said, they're just delivering snacks. And
well, all right. I'm always open to looking at this. Is the first I've heard of it. I'll take it under advisement. We'll get to it. Meantime, so there was this Albert Brooks tweet, and I liked Albert Brooks back in the day. But he tweeted. Do we have that tweet? Something to the effect that the Democrats are the good guys because unlike the GOP, they weren't saying. Here he says, It's so odd. This election had the same machines, the same poll workers, the same rules, and yet not one Republican is saying it's fixed. I wonder what happened. Well, look, even I, who don't believe it's fixed, realize that the last election was a lot closer. Okay. I mean,
from what I understand,
the reason why the Democrats would have tried to fix this one. It was
they couldn't. It was too big to rig. But from what I understand, that Kamala's didn't have a concession speech ready. Originally, she planned to come out the next day and say, "We're going to keep counting this. We're going to keep pushing forward until all the votes are counted." It's because they really believe that it was within the margin of cheat.
Also, Albert Brooks is wrong. The rules are different. Pennsylvania, they've got all those rules fixed that they changed for COVID. The lawyers came in from the RNC and
right, I understand, and that's irrelevant to
Well, that's how they got the cheating. They allowed.
But now you're expanding the definition of cheat. You know what the common ordinary definition of cheat: stuffing the ballot box. Now
we only have one definition of cheat.
Because I even agree. I agree that there was, there were shenanigans with, and that had Trump challenged these things in time. Maybe something he could have affected change before the last election. But what we're really talking about is the stuff that got Rudy Giuliani having to give up his penthouse apartment because he libeled 2 poll workers in Georgia. But anyway, we'll always talk about this. Let's save some for next week and the week after that, and throughout Trump's term here. So then there's Fox News had a tweet that half of Harris voters want to move, and I'm thinking, where, to Florida? I mean, where are they planning on moving?
I thought, are they going to like Canada? Or I've got a niece that said she wants to go to France, and because
that's an awful large number. To say they're going to move.
Well, yeah, they say they're going to move. Democrats are that way.
And they never do.
They say they're going to lower taxes for the middle class. They say they're going to balance the budget. They say that they're going to lower the cost of health care. So, of course, they say they're going to move.
Now, I like David Axelrod. He's an expert. So he tweeted a lengthy tweet on what Kamala did well. And, it goes through this, the odds were against her, and it wasn't perfect. She did a lot of things well, debate, convention, and more. She was facing tremendous headwinds, and he goes on and on and on in this extra long tweet. Except he forgets one thing, that she was a freaking idiot. He forgot that one little side of the Rubik's Cube. Oh, my goodness.
It's I thought Bill Burr on Saturday Night Live described her best. He called her a real estate agent who talks through her nose.
Yeah, no, I like the Bill Burr. Actually, I was pleased at the Bill Burr. I was pleased at the cold open of Saturday Night Live because it wasn't really that funny, and I'm always happy when they're not that funny. It was tepid. At least it wasn't sanctimonious like the Hallelujah singing, 8 years ago. But this was just like the entire cast getting up there and saying, "Oh, we've always been on your side." And Colin Jost is saying, "And the guy you're really looking for is Michael Che." That's CHE. I mean, it was cutesy. It was not biting at all. But Bill Burr was pretty good, and he mentioned the whole pantsuit thing. But he said, but I like the way he said, you got to be a little sexy to try and get the voters. You maybe get a swing state to come on over. You don't have to dress like Apple, somewhere between Applebee's and
my daddy left me.
Your daddy left you. I mean, it was really good. But he also, another thing, I guess it's all in the delivery, because I think a lot of us said the same thing that Bill Burr said on the Saturday Night Live stage about when Trump got up off the ground after the assassination attempt, that we would have stayed in the fetal position. I think I even said it on this podcast.
Yeah, I would have waited till they pulled the truck, the armored truck up.
Yeah, I mean, but he also had a funny thing about how it's just that herky jerky movements that he always has. That's how the assassin wasn't able to get a beat on him because he just always moves around like that. It's pretty damn funny when you can make fun of an actual assassination attempt. I mean, think about that. It's because it turned out okay. It turned out better than anybody could have imagined.
It's one for the ages. Do you think that the kids today will remember where they were when they found out that the president was shot?
No, it'll just be just another little thing in the pantheon of experiences. It's not like JFK was for us. I'm sure. Was JFK bigger for you than 9/11 was?
No, I was in kindergarten. So.
Oh, you were young. You were too young.
Yeah, I was too young. I was more the Watergate. I remember with clarity.
Okay, because I was 10 when JFK got shot, and so that was so large. And and I used to go around the classrooms doing my Vaughn Meter impersonation from the First Family album. So I lost a gig there. I was immediately out of work in 5th grade.
Was your mom and your aunts were they upset?
Everybody was. Jews loved Kennedy.
Really?
Everybody, we all vote. They all voted for Kennedy. They were terribly upset over this.
I thought that Kennedy might have been my grandfather because of the age I was at, and my grandfather died really close to that. But they all behaved the exact same way. They all came over and cried for hours together on both of my grandfather and for Kennedy. So it was.
Oh yeah, that's horrible. The
first Catholic president, so it was it was very close for them.
Yeah. On the other hand, I was 10, so when I got home from school, they let us out early. I was thinking, all right, we got off early, and this will blow over by 6 o'clock, so Rocky and his friends will be on Channel 9 at 6. Didn't quite work out that way, but on the other hand, very, very sad, and saw that my parents were really, really sad too, and I lost that gig. So this is all over with. Sotomayor says that she's staying, right? Isn't that the latest? Because there was this whole idea that they were going to dump her so that they could make Kamala or somebody a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah, I don't think that she's willing to take the Ginsburg challenge.
Yeah, well, right, and I think that our RBG has a better shot at reclaiming her spot on the court than Sotomayor does of leaving it. But yeah, it was crazy.
No, but that's what happened with Ginsburg. Is she waited too long and didn't. And I can't even remember who was the one that the appointment that they tried to put Garland in.
Yeah, that was
who was.
Was
that
good job
Ginsburg?
by the much maligned Mitch McConnell. Good job by him for stopping that one.
Yeah, that was the only thing I can say that he's done that's been good. But that's the thing. They're not going to take the chance that they're going to be able to hold it up in the Senate.
Oh, it was
for a couple months.
It was the replacement for Scalia. Thank you, Chris, on that one. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the Weekly Wrap. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the Weekly Wrap. So turning again to our top story, we're getting rid of the fluoride in the water. I can't wait for this. Anyway, there's this tweet a few days ago, Kennedy for the W, and he was talking about Colbert, and Colbert I actually watched it. I can't believe it, but Colbert was ridiculing RFK Jr. And the punchline was that RFK Jr. had said there's all kinds of ingredients in Fruit Loops and we should get rid of them. And Colbert was challenging him on that, thought that he'd overstated it. And I'm thinking to myself, Colbert is such a partisan hack. He should be agreeing with RFK Jr. about all the ingredients in Fruit Loops. That's what liberals are all about. They're all about the nanny state. But he couldn't even get past that. He had to ridicule RFK Jr. over that.
I'm guessing that Kellogg's might be a sponsor of the Colbert show. It's because Colbert viewers, they need their Raisin Bran in the morning at that age.
Sure. Oh man. So anyway, all right. It's a little bit of Bruce's Jews news right now. I mean, there was this attack in Amsterdam, and I'm ready to give Putin the Netherlands right now. Here, go ahead. But actually, the king of Netherlands and all the leaders thought it was horrible. But I mean, it really was a pogrom because nobody stopped it, or they were participants in it, and all kinds of excuses that the Jews had started it. They really hadn't. And
but it's also it's Amsterdam. They don't they're not violent people. They don't know, the locals don't know what to do when they see violence.
That's true.
They can't pull out their handguns. That's okay. That's for sure.
There you go. But I mean, they're we're kind of compliant at best. Anyway,
what do they? I mean, they know how to make wooden shoes and chocolate, I think. I think that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much the halcyon days of Amsterdam. So turning to something a little more lighthearted, Jamie Lee Curtis and Don Lemon, two of my favorite mentions on this podcast, both have decided to leave X. They're exiting X, and they will not be missed, but it's happening. Some people are actually leaving X because Elon Musk.
I don't remember any Jamie Lee Curtis stories from you, Bruce.
I'm sure. I think I told it last week, and I'm not gonna. But the time that I wrestled Jamie Lee Curtis in the hallway.
Wow! No, Fox, I don't know if you wrestled. You wrestled? Did you actually feel and see if there's a package down there?
You know what? I was going to, but I didn't want my wife to see the videotape. So,
because you know the rumors.
About me or Jamie Lee? So,
Jamie Lee and Richard Gere are two of my favorite rumors.
Yeah, no, I love those. Well, for me, because I'm older than you, it used to be Rock Hudson. Those are my.
Oh, wow! That's kind of like the election was stolen, huh?
But anyway, I'll tell.
Well, everyone's leaving. Everyone's leaving X. It's my Facebook feed is full of it. They're all going over to Blue Sky, which the irony for me is kind of sweet, because they're posting on Facebook that they're leaving X for Blue Sky. Okay. So it's apparently Facebook is still an approved source.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, if you really want to persuade people, you got to go where the enemy is. And now we're just going to silo ourselves on these various platforms if we haven't done it already. And isn't
that cult behavior though? I mean, isn't that what you're told is in a cult? I mean, they always called the Trump people of being the cult.
Yeah.
But when you say that, no, you're not allowed to see any information that's not approved by us, that's that you're the one in the cult.
No, right. I mean, you're preaching to the choir in that one. So did you see where I guess somebody said that North Carolina, their gerrymandering gave the GOP control of the House, and my friend Scott Bertram saw that, and he tweeted out a map of Illinois. You talk about gerrymandering. Illinois. One of the districts, I mean, looks like
earmuffs.
It looks like a tributary to some river somewhere. That Mississippi went wild, I guess. But it's that Hispanic
district in Chicago that it looks like earmuffs. It's because they had to connect the Mexican neighborhoods with the Puerto Rican neighborhoods.
It's just ridiculous. So, you talk about gerrymandering. Hey, we're not going to be able to make the Rahm Emanuel joke much longer. There's talk that Mike Pence is going to go to Japan, and he's going to be a giant among men there after Rahm.
Well, actually, I think I know why Mike Pence is going to be the ambassador to Japan.
Tell me why.
Because you can't get farther away from Washington, D.C.
That's probably right. That's right. Yeah. Try to get to me now, Ashley Babbitt. Yeah, I'm in Tokyo. Right. Oh, man. So do you think, and now everybody's talking about, well, the stories are going to come out about Joe Biden, what really happened. And this, like a day after you see Hitler sitting there with Biden, and they're shaking hands, and Trump is thanking him for the nice transition of power, and Biden is saying an audible, you're welcome. But do you think, a guy like Bill O'Reilly should write killing Biden like he did about everybody else? like Reagan was a vegetable for a while. Everybody shouldn't. I mean, we're going to see these books.
Oh yeah. It's going to come out. It's going to, I wonder, I imagine Trump, when he shook his hand, kind of whispered, thanks for voting for me, pal.
Well, I mean, he gave him so much in-kind advertising. Love the garbage comment. Love you wearing the red MAGA hat. Jill was in red on election day. Oh yeah, we got it. We got it all. So yeah, it just seems like we're gonna get that. And
well, maybe Kamala might be the first one to get the book out, because I mean, what else is she gonna do?
Yeah,
she's gonna need somehow to raise $20 million.
Is that how much she's in debt from the $1 billion they got?
Isn't that delightful?
Oh,
spent $1 billion, 20 in debt, and she said she was going to fix the economy.
Well, you can't necessarily extrapolate. It's physician heal thyself. No, I understand that.
I love the Trump troll is that he actually said, hey, I think if you want, contact us. We'll pay off your debt for you.
Oh,
we got extra money. We got money we didn't use.
That. I mean, I don't know what the betting odds are. I see. Well, somebody's going to pardon Hunter if Biden doesn't do it. I don't see Hunter going to jail. Do you?
No, Hunter will not go to jail. It's and you're right. If Biden doesn't pardon him, Trump probably will. Because didn't I mention this last week? The guy's just a crackhead that was used by the Biden family as a fall guy.
He was a cutout. No question about it.
Well, no, they knew if the FBI got too close, they'd just all the blame, just put all the money in his vault.
Yeah. I think that, when it comes down to it, that J.K. Rowling decided this election. Think about it. I mean, she writes Harry Potter. I mean, she's the most successful author in history, and she's a liberal, and she turns on the transsexuals and has taken a lot of heat for that. And the key ad, as far as I was concerned, was the one that I saw in, the NFL games all the time, the immigrant imprisoned transsexual. That it was a cultural battle, because when it comes down to it, I mean, look at the appointment of RFK. I mean, he's gonna go after water pollution if he can. I know he's not in the EPA, but I mean, he's a liberal. Obama once almost appointed him,
right,
back in the day.
I think he's gonna. I think maybe Trump will appoint him as Secretary of Education. Right before he dismantles it.
That would be fun.
Be an easy way.
That would be fun. But yeah, I'm just thinking that it really came down to that cultural moment.
And J.K. Rowling, she went to great lengths to make Dumbledore gay to appease the alphabet community.
Okay. Would you have like the inner workings of the script conferences?
No, she actually came out. She actually came out and she says, well, didn't you know Dumbledore was gay?
It's bad when it's bad.
I thought
when
it was pretty obvious.
Trust the tale, not the teller. You shouldn't have to give it away. But okay, she said that. Yeah, but then she drew the line, and the Democrats didn't. And that's why I think we live in this progressive nation. It's just that we managed to put the brakes on it every once in a while. I mean, Trump was a reaction to Obama, and Trump was a reaction to Biden, and you don't need it to rig it. They rigged it themselves.
Well, I don't know if we're that much a progressive nation. I think I think that Alinsky really taught the left well how to make their size look bigger than it actually was. It was it was like Castro in Cuba. There were only a couple hundred guerrillas up in the mountains there, but they made it think they were thousands.
And thanks to X and others, the media can't get away with it anymore. All right. And we're in the top 3 million. Bruce Wolf and Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap. Was that a stronger wrap? Am I getting stronger?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't as weekly as a wrap as the last 3.
Yeah. I'm gaining strength. Pitch me on 2 days rest. So, did I ask you this? Have you watched Only Murders in the Building at all?
I watched I think the first episode, and it did not delight me. So that was
I really like it. And this is the 4th season that we're watching right now.
Wow.
We're binging on it. And here's how much I love this show. We binge on it, and we don't skip the theme music when we go to the next episode. I mean, ordinarily,
to stretch it out a little bit.
Well, no, because we love the theme music.
Oh,
and so we want to hear the theme music. Now, it's a little bit reminiscent. It has tastes of, well, it's a fruity and it's an oaky taste, but it's also tastes of House of Cards. The open, I would like to compare the openings to both.
I don't remember the House of Cards open.
I don't. You know what? Right now, I can't remember either one of them, but I just know theoretically that it's
Mrs. Slagle made me listen to a Greenback Boogie many times. That was the song for Suits.
Oh,
she liked the theme from that. And,
all right.
So I heard that. I think like 100 times. I think.
Wow.
8 seasons, 12 episodes. Wow. Yeah, close to 100 times I heard Greenback Boogie. That's
House of Cards open. I don't.
Oh, okay. I remember now.
Yeah, I was really upset when they got rid of that show. A little funny little thing happened to Kevin Spacey, but he was exonerated, so he should be making a return like Trump did.
It was starting to get weak.
Oh yeah.
It was starting. Yeah. It was about 2 seasons too long, I think.
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying Only Murders in the Building is at least 1 season too long. This season is kind of it's very Hamlet-like. It's a movie within a movie, maybe even within another movie. But I love that music. And it's just they've got a lot of guest stars. That's the Fonzie jumping the shark. As a matter of fact, it jumps the shark so much that Ron Howard's in it. Okay. So, And Ron Howard, I won't give it away, but Ron Howard, somebody mentions the Opie's fishing hole, and not in a dirty sense whatsoever, but he said, don't ever make fun of the fishing hole. And it doesn't resonate as much as on Arrested Development when Ron Howard appeared on that finally. And he was getting a haircut, and he was calling the barber Floyd because he called every barber Floyd. So that was better than this allusion or reference to the Andy Griffith Show. But
a friend of mine did a little gag reel where it was a sheriff and his little boy with fishing poles walking through the woods.
Oh yeah.
And as they're walking by, there's like there's like 3 guys in Klan robes with a rope walking by, and they wave to him and just go on down to the fishing hole. I can't find it online, which really bums me out. I know it was on YouTube for a while, but I can't find it anymore.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see that one. So I tried to take a break from from all the election stuff, and I listened to this great books podcast with John J. Miller from he's from what's the Hillsdale College, and he does it on Faulkner's As I Lay Dying. Okay, have you ever read As I Lay Dying?
No, I have not.
I've tried. I've tried a few times. I always get, every once in a while I get suckered into this great books podcast because I'm an intellectual wannabe, and this John J. Miller is so jaunty and nice, and he interviews these professors, but it really comes down to it's like Cliff's Notes of Cliff Notes. It's and and you're thinking, this is a great story and there's so much meaning and everything, and then you actually try to read some of this stuff. I mean, you can't.
I usually wait for the movie.
You right? You can't get through this stuff. You can't get through this stuff at all. So anyway, another big observation I have, I got to tell you, the Halloween candy is getting real low in our house. I'm so lonesome. I took some comfort with a cinnamon Kit Kat. It wasn't a good experience.
Yeah, that doesn't sound. Yeah, that sounds
it
sounds like one of those pumpkin spice bastardizations.
It may be time to get rid of the Halloween detritus. Yeah, it's not so good.
I can't believe how small the Halloween candy is.
Maybe you're just getting bigger. Did you ever think of
that? No. We had boxes of Milk Duds left over. It's honest that there's in one box there are 3 Milk Duds each.
That to me is a pretty nice size for Halloween candy as it goes. I was surprised when I saw that. Now, I had been missing for years. I couldn't find a popcorn ball. Okay, the candy popcorn balls. When I was a kid, that was my favorite thing. But then I think when they found that some people were putting Wilkinson sword blades inside those popcorn balls, they stopped handing them out. Well, people used to make them themselves, I guess.
Yeah, that's what they were. They would just buy the wrappers. They would make the popcorn balls themselves. There's actually no recorded incidence of a razor blade in an apple or a popcorn ball ever. Ever. It has never happened.
It's just an urban myth.
An urban myth.
Resurrection Mary was handing out popcorn balls.
It's an urban myth that ruined the ability of little kids to enjoy popcorn balls.
All right, here's an urban myth. You know how I'm easily duped by things on X. Like my favorite was when they showed the picture of I want to say Kyle Farnsworth, the
Rittenhouse,
and they made him look like the big boy from Big Boy Restaurants.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, boy, he's really gained weight. And why is his hair that way? And you said, Bruce, I believe in all kinds of conspiracies, but I don't believe that. So here's one. I don't know there's been any corroboration. NFC North news. This is right after the election. The NFL recommended every team cancel practice and give their players a day to heal after the results of last night's elections. 31 teams did not have practice today. Dan Campbell let the players decide if they wanted to practice. Every single Lions player said yes. That's totally made up, right? That didn't happen.
What, the Lions players would say yes?
No, that the NFL gave people off. I mean, if it were true, I'd say we were talking about the Kennedy assassination before. The NFL played on November the 24th, 1963. 2 days after Kennedy was assassinated.
Yeah, I did not know that.
They actually played their games. Now, they didn't televise them. And I was really ticked off. They didn't, because the Bears played a crucial game against the Pittsburgh Steelers that Sunday. Mike Ditka ran right through the Steelers defense.
Well, who can forget the Yankees winning the World Series after September 11th?
It was great. With George Bush coming out and throwing the first pitch. You know how much pressure was on that guy to throw it over the plate? I mean, imagine if Obama had been president back then. We would never have recovered from 9/11. But George Bush, basically a jock, he got out there and he threw one right over the plate.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was terrific that happened. So, did you see that? This is a WGN News tweet. Normally, I don't rely on WGN News. Applebee's and IHOP are merging.
Wow.
Oh my God. We had an Applebee's reference earlier in the show today.
Yeah, I was trying to figure a way of tying that in, but no, unless it's a one-legged stripper, I guess.
Right. So the first combination spot in the U.S. I mean, you've already got Kentucky Fried Chicken and Taco Bell.
Baskin Robbins and Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, that makes sense. But Applebee's and IHOP, my wife claims that she made up the chocolate chip pancake at IHOP because we used to go in there and she used to ask for pancakes with chocolate chips. And they had to, okay, we'll make that for you. But it wasn't an item on the menu.
Well, why would they have chocolate chips in the back then?
Hey, my wife says that she made it up. You want to fight my wife? You go right ahead.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Wolf. We're going to have to run to the store, but we'll definitely do it for you.
Always the Diogenes. We happen to be making Toll House cookies in our spare time, and we just threw some chocolate chips in for you.
Back from when we merged with Marriott.
I'm not even going to tell her that. I don't want to hurt her feelings. It's so bad. All right, so I know that you're not a Chicago Bears fan, but they actually fired their offensive coordinator this week. The guy was 9 games into his career with the Bears. Nine games he got fired. I don't recall anything like that happening before, and it was really bad. I wanted to see a pass completed in the last game. I didn't even care if it was to the other team. I just wanted to see Caleb Williams connect with somebody. It was so bad. It was meanwhile, I do have to tell you that apparently some guy, and I think this came out in one of those Dan Proft so-called fake newspapers, but I don't think the Tribune had it, that there was a guy, a young lawyer, who tried to get a job with the Bears, but he couldn't get it because they wanted specifically a black person, and he sued, and that case is being settled. So it's good to see the Bears have that priority right now in making themselves diversified. If they could only diversify their offense just a little bit. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the Weekly Wrap.
And that's the Weekly Wrap on radio and television. Follow Bruce at Bruce Wolf Shy on Twitter and Tim at timslagle.com. The Weekly Wrap with Bruce Wolf, a CP Pods production.